Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me also today for these episodes. As you can see, I'm again in my small home studio because we still can't go out and do what we would like to do. And so I thought about doing something creative here at home. In this case, we are taking some pictures at smoke coming from an incense stick. This is just a regular desk lamp that I'm pointing at the smoke. In this way, the light will help the autofocus of the camera, and as you can see, I have put some paper around the lamp so that the light will not hit the background during the exposure and will not hit the camera lens, so I don't have any lens flare. Here I have my regular speed light, the SB800, mounted on a light stand with a flash bracket and a radio trigger, so I can control it from the camera remotely. The speed light has also flags around it, so the light coming from it will not hit the background during the exposure, so it stays black, and I don't have then lens flare. And finally, here there is the stick that will create the smoke. I'm holding it straight using a clamp that I've bought at the regular DIY store. Now let's enlight the stick. As you can see, the smoke is coming, but the camera for sure will have some problems with the autofocus. Let's help the camera with the lamp. Perfect. Now the side light coming from the lamp will help the autofocus of the camera, and we can start. I'm shooting in manual mode, and the settings are for the shutter speed 250 of a second, aperture f11 and ISO 200. Okay, now the shooting part is finished, and let's move to the computer because I would like to show you something cool. Here we are in Lightroom, where we are doing the first changes before going to Photoshop, where the real magic is happening. What I would like to do first is to increase the exposure a bit. Not too much, let's say in this way, and maybe a bit of clarity. And the other thing that I would like to do is to change the orientation, because I don't like the horizontal image in this case. I would like to have a vertical one. I think it's fitting better. So I'm changing the crop, keeping 2 to 3. And what I would like to do is move to the left, but keeping some space here to the bottom left, because if I'm framing this photograph and I'm using a matte, I don't want that the matte is covering this part, so I'm leaving some black. Okay. Now we can edit this photograph in Photoshop. Okay, now the image is open in Photoshop and the real magic can start. First of all, we need to create a new layer, and we need to change the blending mode into color. Now we choose the brush and a color, for example this one. And because of the blending mode, we can paint over the smoke and only the smoke will be colored. If we don't like the opacity of the brush, we can lower it and painting maybe just some part. We can change the color. And going over. We can change the opacity again, making again a bit stronger. Maybe we can choose another color. As you can imagine, there are infinite combinations. You can go on for hours with the same photo, saving in different versions, and you can create a, don't know, 3 set image maybe for printing in a same frame. The possibilities are endless. Now let's go back to Lightroom and let's try something with another image. Let's go on with the second photo. Again, what I would like to do is to change the exposure, and again I'm pushing it a bit forward, let's say in this way, and again the clarity. You see, if I'm going too much, I start to have here things that I don't like. Then I'm going again a bit back, let's say in this way. And then I'm changing again the orientation, or the 2x3. Here I'm moving again until I think I like. Let's say that I would like to have the smoke that is this part, this curve is in the image, not too much to the border. Okay. Now we can go back to Photoshop. Okay, now let's zoom in because I would like to show you something. Can happen that this incense stick, when it's burning and you are making air for making more interesting the smoke, can happen that some particles of this incense stick are enlightened by the flash and you have this white dot. Then you can just paint over the background because anyway it's black, and with the black color set with the brush you can just paint over them. If you don't want to check all around, there is something easy that you can do. You can just make the brush bigger and just painting everywhere around the smoke. so you're sure that you are deleting all of the white dots. Here I went a bit over the smoke, but it really doesn't matter so much because the shape is well defined. For example, if you don't like this part, eventually you can also delete, not deleting but painting over. Maybe when you are going closer to the rest of the smoke, you can make the brush smaller with a bit of zoom. And there you go. Now, if you don't like the black, there is a very fast and easy way to change completely the aspect of this image. You need to go to the adjustment layers and click to invert. There you go. Now you have a completely white background and the smoke is still quite well visible. And in this way I think it's quite elegant. And the thing that because of the adjustment layer, if you don't like, you can just hide the layers and going back and you have again a black image. You can, for example, saving a version with the black background, activating again, saving the version with the white background, and maybe framing one to the left and one to the right, and then you have an interesting wall art. Now let's hide this adjustment layer for some moments and let's create another layer, again with the color like blending mode. And if you don't want to use the brush, you can choose the gradient tool, and for example within the reds, choosing an option, clicking and dragging, and then you have a full colorful image. If you don't like, you just can click again, dragging, maybe longer, and then you have a completely different result. Let's reactivate the invert, and then you have again a completely different image. As you can imagine, really the possibilities are endless. You can go on for hours just with one photo in creating hundreds of variations. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any other upload that I will make in the future. And let me know in the comments if you have favorite images from this set. I'm really interested to know if you like one or two images that I've taken, or if you don't like at all these kind of photographs. Until next time, take care, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.
you.